Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Katie Gideon, and I am dialing in from Houston, Texas, and I will be your facilitator this evening. It has been a minute since I have done one of these. I have been traveling. So I started out at the beginning of the month, and now I'm back to end the month with all of you. So I'm super excited. So forgive me if I'm a little rusty, but have no fear because I have an excellent co-facilitator in the chat with Jennifer O, who is up in the Dallas area, and we are cheering for Team Astros. But yes, we are Team Texas, and we are excited to kick off our Sunday night for this week, our last full week in October, which is crazy. I can't believe this week, this year, this month, all of the above. But we are setting up week 43 in our October journals. Welcome to everybody. If this is your first time, let us know. And if you are here because you're expecting your November journal, we are glad you're here. Take some notes, ask all the questions, but we are glad you are here. Other note is make sure you set your chat to everyone, so that you can share with your questions, comments, and all the fun ways you set up your journal. And everyone is already automatically entered into our self-care raffle. And we love seeing all of your posts, not only on Instagram, but also in our Silk and Sonder app. But we are ready to kick off this week. We are excited. I am excited. We are still continuing with this month's theme, which is surrender, which this has been one of the trickier themes for me in a while. I absolutely associate surrender with defeat. So I am having to almost reprogram how I approach this definition. So this has been one of those challenging months, but I have embraced the challenge. I am thrilled that I get to embrace that challenge, and I am certainly working through it, which leads into our kind of agenda. We're going to start out with our surrender activity. We're going to then roll into our weekly setup, and then we're going to do our closing. So super excited to go ahead and move further in our surrender activity. So for those of you, again, who have joined us for the first time, we tend to theme our weekly setups around a different component associated with the theme. So all of these weeks have a different idea that we're going to explore under the surrender theme. So because there are 5 weekends in October, we're doing the 5 different focus points. So for those of you who have been keeping along, we are actually into week 4. So without further ado, the week 4 theme is we're going to be looking at control, which again, I thought this was entertaining because it's like they knew I was going to come back and host this week, because control is something I have a hard time with. Because I am one of those, I am a perfectionist. I am absolutely one of those. So I feel like it hit me really hard with the needing to focus and surrendering some of that control, and or using the opportunity to celebrate some of that control. For those of you who have not necessarily joined us, our first week was feelings and mental state. Our second week was vulnerability. Our third week was mindfulness. And here we are with the 4th week, which is control. Here is how I broke down mine. I flipped to a notes page because I am one of those lucky few that I still have some note pages. Set this off at the beginning. So I broke it up into kind of a half sun, similar to the icon there. And the ways, again, I looked at this were I highlighted the things, the squishy things that I feel like I do that kind of fall into these kind of surrender traps, as a way to be a little bit more mindful on how I can change some of those habits, change some of those thought process to it. So for me, it was a lot of dealing with micromanagement. I don't consider myself a bit of a micromanager. I've had to embrace the delegation piece, not only in my professional life, but also personally. So I definitely create safety nets. But the other topic that I really wanted to really look at is how I was treating others when I think that my idea is right, because I want it to be my idea. So not providing an opportunity to present when I present that idea as the only idea. But the other one that really hit me super hard is I don't sleep well. And it led me down, I think in one of my insomnia induced events, was a revenge bedtime procrastination. And that is because the general idea is that you don't have a whole lot of control of your day to day or hour to hour during your day. So you stay up on purpose so that you can control that time that you have, because when you're supposed to go to bed. But because I didn't have control over that, I was like, this hit. So instead of just kind of encouraging myself to go to bed, I was like, I am going to sit here and I'm going to read and I'm going to watch the shows that I didn't catch up on and I'm going to do what I want, because that was the only element of control that I could find. So Jen just shared the article on why you stay up so late, even when you know you shouldn't. So that is where I'm going to try and look into the controlling piece. But I also feel like the opportunity to do on the flip side is celebrating some of the things you can control. So Jen and I were talking about kind of when it comes to emotions, you can control how you react to certain things as opposed to being able to control what happens. So there's a way to look at it as in kind of a celebration of how you can control things, but also surrendering some of the things that you maybe have a little too much control over. So I am going to stop talking and give you guys an opportunity to work through this. I'm going to scroll back and forth between the prompts, but if you have any questions, let us know and I will see you all soon.
Poison.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing. What I loved seeing is a lot of the self-reflection when it comes to control, kind of rephrasing and rethinking of these mindsets that we need to kind of embrace that duality of control and surrender as it sees fit to us, be it a literal control, be it task mastering, be it emotions, be it mindset. But the opportunity to sit and kind of reflect on each of these kind of very specific, um, almost tangible ideas, I think is amazing. So that was week 4, control. And with these series, you have the opportunity, we will revisit each of those at each week. We'll also be providing a link a little bit later so you can revisit some of the other ideas at the beginning of these with our YouTube channel. So now we're going to move on to why we are here, which is our weekly planner setup. So for those of you in the October journal, we are on page 52, again, week 43 for our weekly setup. The first thing we're going to do is we're at the top of the page on 52, which is this week I want to feel. So it's more of let's kind of continue on that mindset idea and the emotional setup, because these are kind of what do you need to go to get to the week? What is something you can come back to? What do you want to feel, or how do you want to look back on this week, this time next week? And these can again be affirmations. These can be words, these can be feelings, these can be stickers, and any sort of combination. For me, it's usually a play on an English word, i.e. I want to be well, but I want to be weller, because I'm coming off quite a bit of travel, so I feel like I'm a little drained. But as you can see, a lot of these other ones are just kind of really great, thoughtful ideas of how they want to feel. Defying gravity, sparks, strong, any sort of combination of these. So with that, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to kind of come up with the thoughts, how you want to feel this time next week. Or if you have a really busy week or maybe a little bit lighter week, what are some of those things you're going to pull from to kind of mentally either surrender some of that control or embrace some of the control, celebrate some of the control, or just what's going to get you to this time next week. Thank you everyone for sharing. I saw quite a bit of calm and unstuck and confident and content, as well as rested. I feel like this is kind of that time. Seasons have maybe officially changed. You still kind of have some super hot temperatures, but some really cool. But fall is, I would definitely say, in full bloom, full blown. So the opportunity to rest, recharge, as we kind of roll into the end of the year. But again, thank you everyone for sharing, and we will have to check back in next week to see if this kind of helped embrace some of those ideas of how you need to kind of tackle this week. Now moving on to the weekly to-dos. So again, still page 52 on the left-hand side with our weekly to-dos. So what I love about this is the flexibility that a to-do list or a ta-da list can occur. I am usually a fan of the ta-da list instead of the to-do. To-do makes it sound like it's challenging, but the ta-da means it's more of a celebration accomplishment. So a lot of mine are the ta-da lists. But I love how all of these people can repurpose these. At the middle, we have some folks that use it in kind of a bingo board style with the project weekly list, so the things that you need to do. The Eisenhower matrix is also a good approach to this as well when it comes to the do, decide, delegate, and delete. Also, again, it can be that true traditional to-do list, all the things that need to be done in whatever form. It could also maybe be a things you want to do, self-care list, things you don't want to forget. One of our other facilitators, Maya, has a eat the frog, which means you do your hardest thing first. So putting it in that type of format, which I know kind of sounds a little silly, but mindset is everything. That's half the battle, if not more. And then I love that the person at the bottom just kind of went with some motivational stickers and kind of needing the gotta get through the week, and whatever happens, happens, and whatever I get accomplished, I'm gonna be happy with that. So the opportunity to work through the weekly to-dos is again, the opportunity is endless. I am also going to roll into our weekly 3 major goals because a lot of people kind of wonder how you do your weekly to-dos and the major 3 goals and how they can kind of fit together. For me, my weekly to-dos are like the things that I need to accomplish in my ta-da list. My 3 major goals tend to be around the kind of mental or mentality, how I'm going to approach the week. So a lot of it is kind of helpful reminders, the, breathe, think, speak, those type of things. The other way it can be repurposed is if you want to focus on the 3 types, be it, 1 goal for work, 1 goal for body, 1 goal for mind. One of the other ideas is, again, kind of a bingo board style, but it's what have I done that makes me proud this week, which I thought was great. I feel like there are times when you really need to celebrate the wins because I have a tendency to dwell on the negative. So an opportunity to celebrate the wins is a great one here. And then you also have the format of what are the 3 big things you want to kind of accomplish. For one person, it was sleep and work out, set up a sidekick journal, and introduction email, those type of things. They also can be, 3 things you're excited about, 3 songs of the week, maybe quotes, as well as stickers. All of these are really fun, but that's where I feel like I kind of do the 2 together. I'll jump back and forth between the 2 because my to-do list tends to grow during the week, but the weekly major 3 goals is that kind of grounding point that I go to for the week to connect back up to this week I want to feel. So how I want to feel this week is then broken down to what is my mentality that I need to get through the week, and what are the things I need to have done that week. So I'm going to give you some time to work on both of these sections, and I will check back in. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sharing. Jen O just put in the chat kind of the more detailed explanation of the Eisenhower matrix. But what I absolutely love about these two particular sections is that depending on, what your week looks like or what mood you're in, you can try any of these different versions. But I always say, give yourself some grace. If you don't quite get one that works the first time, you will find your approach. It does take a little bit of time. And I feel like there are also times I give you permission, because you need to give yourself permission, that there's some of those weeks that you're just not going to be able to accomplish everything for whatever reason, and that's okay. So if you can't come up with 3 major goals, you don't have to. If you need to kind of use a sticker or just a word, just a phrase, you can always do those things. It does not need to be, again, do not beat yourself up when it comes to accomplishment and making sure things are done. This is a great tool to do all of those things, but sometimes a week just isn't going to work, and that's okay. And you can try it again, and you can change it, and you can do something different, something that you can really get behind and cheer yourself on for these type of accomplishments. So now we are moving into our next section, which is at the bottom of page 52, the habit and activity tracker. Oh, excuse me. So the habit and activity tracker is a way to kind of carry over from your monthly habit tracker. And kind of to crown that, your monthly habits is something that you want to do every single day. The way I break mine down between my monthly and my weekly is I will pull 2 to 3 from that. So for example, I want to walk every day. I will then add into my weekly spread how many times I'm going to walk that week, or how long I'm going to work, how long I'm going to walk, or if I'm going to do a specific workout. That is how I carry it over into that week, because what I like to overlay in the week is what I call the reality lens, which is weather or the fact that I'm going to be super busy. So I may not be able to make a whole lot of time for some of these habits and activities. So that's kind of how I carry it over from week to week, starting with the month. But I provided some examples from one from our Silk and Sonder Instagram account, which if you are on Instagram, I highly recommend following at Silk and Sonder. They put up some really great ideas. So create an easy fall morning routine. Maybe these are something you need to do, something you need to encourage, but also maybe something fun to incorporate. Another approach to this is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a little bit more of a manageable kind of approach where you can set it up to, I am going to do something 5 times this week, something 4 times this week, something 3 times, 2 times, 1 time, with that type of priorities. What I love is that you don't have to fill out all of the lines of the habit. Sometimes you can only do kind of 1 or 2. Sometimes you just need 1 or 2. You don't have to fill out everything. I'm actually not tracking my habit or activity this week because I am having to go back into my office every day this week, which is new. I haven't done that in like a year. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a grace to just kind of get through the week and do what I can, use those breaks to that, but I am not going to hold myself to those type of things, just kind of get me through. But on the flip side of that, there's someone in that top left. Not only did they put all of their kind of habits that they're doing, they're focusing on a self-care week, they added a bonus. So it's a great way to kind of help you navigate what that wants to look like and how you want to do it. So there's just any sort of approach that's here, you can absolutely take it. And I'm going to give you some time to work on this as well. So you can connect back again to some of the monthly habits that you filled out at the beginning, or you can embrace maybe a habit or activity that focuses on surrender and control. Or again, maybe this is just your morning routine or your evening routine, or maybe it's just, I need to wake up on time and I need to get dressed and I need to walk my dog. Those are kind of my 3 minimum things to do each day this week. So I'm going to give you some time to work on this. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your not only habits that you're tracking, but your kind of approach to the habit trackers. I saw 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 has proven some success, but I also then saw that sometimes it's less focusing on the activity and what you're specifically doing and more on the celebration once you've accomplished it. So being able to use fun stickers or bright colors or try out those kind of new fancy markers or pens that you've done as a way to kind of check those through, check those off. I feel like always a true accomplishment. And sometimes that's what takes to kind of change your mindset to embrace getting some of these things done, accomplished, etc. So thank you everyone for sharing. Now we are going to flip the page. So now we're on page 53 in your October journal, and we're headed to the meal plan section, which I try to stay away from generalizations, but I feel like this section is one that certainly gets repurposed often. And I definitely fall into the repurposing side of the house. I couldn't tell you the last time I used it as a meal plan because I like the setup of it. So I'm always looking at for different ways that I can use it. So for me, the one on the right, because I have an autoimmune condition, I track what I eat sometimes to feel, making sure that something isn't triggering something and I can share those. So I am one of those people that I do it in real time. Jennifer also mentions that she uses hers on the leftover side so that they don't eat something they're not supposed to, making sure that all those dates and stuff are right so you're not eating something that should have been thrown out. I saw that someone was traveling feeling a little anxious about it. I have actually repurposed my meal plan for a packing list. So I lined up all of the outfits I was going to be wearing that day because I was traveling for work. So I was able to, minimize the amount of shoes that I pack because I love packing shoes, as well as kind of re-wearing some of those things so I didn't overpack. And that kind of felt me a little better that I didn't overpack. So the satisfaction of being able to travel with a lighter suitcase was amazing. The one in the middle, I think, is also a great version. It's broken up into different sections based on kind of more of a schedule approach, various things overlaid there. And I know Nona is one of the ones that has put that in there. She has amazing handwriting, so they always look beautiful. And then I love the one on the left. I saw that someone had claimed it because I thought it was a great idea, great approach. From what I saw in the Look and Sonder Club is that they pick a random week to just kind of use inspiration. So inspirational quotes get covered over it. So you don't, Brenda, this was great. The inspiration on that end of just a little bit removing some of the kind of setup portion, but also again, using that as the fun surprise and the ability to kind of cheer yourself on when you need it. I know I have set journal prompts or words throughout my journal in the past, and I've used it to kind of then focus on a reflection and journal prompt. Other ones is it can be used as a work or school study tracker, exercise tracker, a cleaning plan, gratitude log, or now in this point, maybe a surrender log, a kind of an end of the day reflection. I know it's also been used for people to write the daily affirmations. So the freedom with this type of setup, I think, is great. And if you don't need the dates and you don't need the title, then you can just cover them up with washi tape and use it for however you want. But it's a great space for reflection, but also you can absolutely use it in the traditional sense of a meal plan. So I'm going to give you some time to work on this one and I'll check back in. Thank you everyone for sharing all of your repurposing. I saw quite a few folks that use it as kind of a brain dump or a really nice area for any sort of reflection. And then I did see a couple with the water tracker and food tracker as well. So love that. But it's a great space to repurpose. And then I saw someone that said it took them a while to kind of figure out how to use this space. I'd say this is definitely one of my underutilized spaces, and I'm okay with that. It took me a while to kind of get that in my head that I don't have to fill out every section every single week, every single month. And I'm okay with that. But this is certainly not something that you're going to kind of be able to perfect the first time you do it. So again, give yourself a little bit of patience to kind of figure out what works, navigating what you need, as well as I always add the reality lens to things, which is just kind of what do you need to focus on this week? What is going to be kind of an inhibiting, and what is going to certainly kind of bring you down if you don't get it done. So I feel like that's a reality lens that I always add for the weekly planner, just so I can set manageable expectations for myself. So now we're going to move into the next section, which is again another pretty commonly repurposed one, which is the mind body health plan. Again, I pulled some of these ideas that you can kind of incorporate for your mind body health plan from the Silk and Sonder Instagram account. So you can pick a self-care item based on your sign. And I think it's fun. I am actually going to embrace the weekday check-in. I feel like this is going to be not a super productive week for me on kind of the personal side, because I feel like I'm just going to be so busy. So I want to turn this week into kind of an opportunity to unwind each day. So I'm definitely going to go heavy on the journal prompts and reflections for this week. So I love the idea of having a weekday check-in prompt. There are some other ideas as well. Mind body health plan, which is actually like, what are you going to be doing for your mind, body, and health that week? I also am one of those, again, that dwell on the negative. So I have had to turn this section a couple times into celebrating what I did that day, which I think is a great tool, where you think of the one thing that you're really proud you accomplished that day. And it doesn't have to be big and lofty. It can be somewhat small and simple, but the opportunity to celebrate something you did and not dwell on the negative is absolutely rewarding. Also bringing back the idea of the I feel and I need that day, as well as Jen shared that the one kind of top right with kind of other reflective journal questions was something I did for someone. Three good things about me. Today I achieved, today I overcame. And then I loved that on the same page as the meal plan, there was a repurpose of a meal plan, as Nona Natalie, who I snagged this from, is that this was the focus on the meal plan for the dinner. So again, there's coordination opportunities that you can use whatever works for you. But I think the idea that I said, like I said, it's a great kind of catch-all. I know a lot of people put affirmations here as well. So kind of whatever works for you. And I'm going to give you a chance to work on that as well. And I will check back in. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sharing. Loved again all of the repurposing here. I think this is one of those really functional areas that for me, it looks different basically every single week. And I love the opportunity to be able to kind of turn it into what I need. Like I said, this week is going to be a little low on the personal productivity and very high on the reflection as a way to kind of clear my mind, settle down, and stop, staying up late with procrastination because I don't control my day. So now we're going to move to the bottom section on that page, which is the shopping list. Again, this is one of those that can be used as a fun traditional shopping list idea, or it's also been a great kind of catch-all for quotes, scriptures, affirmations, daily ritual ideas, as well as another great place for a fun bingo board. Not necessarily on the to-do bingo board side, but the fun, definitely way to recharge side. And then also the bottom one, which is the I am loving section, an opportunity to kind of embrace whatever you need to that week, all the various things to do that. So the opportunity is there. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to kind of wrap up that week, and I will check back in. Thank you everyone for sharing. I loved seeing all of the kind of different sections for shopping lists to kind of repurpose, as well as some of the kind of conversation around what you're loving. I found the quote kind of at the bottom that I feel like called me out. So the ego mind surrender means giving up, which is usually my thought process, but to the spiritual mind, surrender means giving in and receiving. So I think it's more of I need to turn a little bit of that kind of type A off for this week and just kind of relax into it, and relinquish some of that control, so that I can look a little bit more like the little girl, kind of happily content But that means we've actually reached the end of our time together. So we love seeing examples. So please feel free to share those in the Sonder Club app. If you are not a part of our Sonder Club group in the Sonder fam, the link Jen provided in the chat, as well as the QR codes there. With the QR codes, all you have to do is take your phone, hold it up, scan it. So the opportunity to see those. Also, please fill out the survey. We read them. We read all of them. We want to make these as amazing and as wonderful as you can. That is how this and Sonder Socials came about. That is also how the exclusive events came about. That is also how our workbook events have come about, as well as the feedback for wanting access to the YouTube links. If you miss a social, or you come late, or you come early, but have to leave early, you can go back and see some of the archive, or there are definitely some days where there's not one scheduled and I just need to have some kind of self-reflection time with a journal. So that link is in the chat as well as the bottom. I also want to do a shout out for an upcoming Instagram Live that Meha is going to be hosting with the two founders of Higher Dose. It's going to be on Instagram this Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, which is where I'm at. These are always great. The Instagram Lives are wonderful. We did a really wonderful holiday series. So if you're not on Instagram, please follow Silk and Sonder there for these type of events. I am also going to include my playlist, but thank you everyone for coming and sharing. Can't wait to knock out week 4 of October with all of you as we surrender some of the control. And I can't wait to see you at our next event. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday and have an amazing week. And I hope to see you all this time next week. Have a wonderful day.
Why does everybody in the world seem so divided? Why does everybody gotta hate each other? Who decided? If I took all the world's pride and all the world's money and wrapped it in a blanket and put it in a buggy, could you see that maybe that baby was just the same as you are? You know it's never been easy. Every day for everybody ain't breezy. And I hope you realize when you look into another person's eyes, you know today would be a very good day just to have a good day. You know today would be a very good day just to have a good day. With a little more love and a little more laughter, a little more good vibes, less disaster. You know today would be a very good day just to have a good day. All day long. All day long. Good days, please come more often. Everybody's in the streets out coughing. Smog in the air, gonna send you to your coffin. Plastic everywhere down there with the dolphins. Everybody was born to a mama, so everybody is connected like karma. So disconnect yourself from the drama. Everybody's trying to heal like trauma. You know it's never been easy. Every day for everybody ain't breezy. And I hope you realize when you look into another person's eyes, you know today will be a very good day just to have a good day. You know today will be a very good day just to have a good day. With a little more love and a little more laughter, a little more good vibes, less disaster. You know today would be a very good day just to have a good day. And I say, hey, hey, put all my troubles to the side. And I say, hey, hey, thank God that we're alive. And I say, hey, hey, put all my troubles to the side. And I say, today would be a very good day just to have a good day. With a little more love and a little more laughter, a little more good vibes, less disaster. You know today would be a very good day just to have a good day. All day